Good evening and welcome to Simply Good Food TV's attempt to create a TV programme for 24 hours, non-stop live streaming. Here we are, 4 o'clock, we promised we'd switch on, and we have, and we are going to kick off with an Italian hour. I lived in Italy for a while and absolutely fell in love with the people, with the food, with the whole culture of Italian food, and I wanted to share it, and I wanted to share it with someone who absolutely eats, sleeps, lives and breathes food. And this lady has set up an incredible marketing business called the Food Marketing Expert, and she works in the artisan food world, helps them refine their brands, helps their brand get onto the high street, get it listed in different retailers and things like that. So welcome, Vhari Russell.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. We're going to test this whole live theory out on you.
Yeah, definitely.
We've been talking about it for a long time now,
We have.
and I wanted to cook you some lovely dishes that I know really, really well,
Okay.
dishes that I think will work quite well for you and for you guys out there. I'm sure you will like these recipes, but kind of first, what made you come up?
Your harebrained idea in a phone call from Carfest. I think we
know,
were halfway
no.
through Carfest and you rang me and went, I've had a great idea. I've never let you have an 8-hour car journey on your own again, I don't think.
No, I'd just come back from Carfest South, had an incredible weekend, and sat on the M6 basically for a long time trying to get home. And that's when my brain starts ticking and things start happening. And because you have hands-free on your phone now, you can just call these people and go, I've got this crazy idea. But look, we're here. We're going to cook.
We're here. We've got a
This
great
is,
lineup.
yeah, this is our studio here. This is where we cook. This is where we run Simply Good Food TV. We create content. We curate content. We find the best online food programming we can possibly manage to find. And we put it all on the app for you to be able to watch and enjoy. And we'd love for you to let us know what you think of the app, what you're thinking of the dishes that we're doing.
Think over any questions that you've got, any tips you want us to review.
Yeah, no, we will
Get
try.
involved.
Yeah, send us questions on Twitter. At SGFTV is our Twitter handle, and we have a hashtag of 24HR cooking. So 24-hour cooking. We're trending at the moment. We're very happy about that.
We are.
We're very proud. And you can get us on Facebook and just look. We're here for the long haul. Chat to us, talk to us. I've even told my kids to FaceTime me and say goodnight. So we are here. We've got a load of people behind us who are either waiting to come on and cook, who are editing as we broadcast live, are tweeting, are sitting. Someone's even doing the makeup. So we've got all kinds of people here. This is not a one-man show. This is a big team effort, and we're all involved, and we're all going to try and have a good time while we're doing it and cook loads of food. I've skipped lunch. I kind of skipped breakfast, all in preparation for this. So look, let's cook. So
What are we cooking first?
I am going to cook a really lovely pizza. Pizza is a real passion of mine. I love pizza. I went to Naples for about 4 or 5 days and completely immersed myself in pizza. Ate it every day, sometimes twice a day. It was.
Do you cook pizza for your kids?
Yes, every Friday night is pizza night in our house.
So what are they doing tonight?
Don't know. Maybe they'll let us know. I have no idea what they're doing tonight. But they will. Maybe we'll bypass it and go to tomorrow night because I have a very special toy coming tomorrow. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is show you how to make a pizza for me properly. What's really important is we have a pizza stone in here, and this is my old mate. Okay, look at the colour of it. He has been well used, and it is really, really important that you don't wash these.
Okay.
You just let them, and if you just put your hand near it,
Wow, there's
Yeah.
some heat coming off that.
plenty of heat. So straight in the oven there.
And how
Okay.
long do you have to leave that in the oven before you can put pizza
An hour's good.
in? Okay.
An hour's good, as hot as your oven can go.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just gonna, these Neff ovens are really, really efficient with the energy.
Mhm.
So like, I've got it at 190, but you might, if you haven't got a Neff oven, crank it up to 200,
Okay.
220, something like that. Okay, so let me just move this chopping board down here, get that out of the way. Okay, so I have made a very simple dough here. Okay. Don't know where the bin is. Oh, hit the woodwork. Okay, so this is 500 grams of Italian pasta flour, or pizza flour some of us call it, okay? And basically it's been milled twice, so it's really, really fine.
Okay.
And if I show you what it feels like, if you just put your hand in there,
Well, it's like
it's
dust.
a lot finer than normal bread making
Yep.
flour, okay? So just a little bit of flour, and what this has done is this has sat and proved up, and if you have a look, if I stretch this out, it's all stretched and glutinous.
And when you say you've left that, for how long have you left it?
I made this about 2 hours ago, and I've left it in here in the studio just to prove it is quite warm compared to yesterday.
It was freezing in here yesterday.
Yeah. And we're just going to knock the air out, okay? So I'm going to scrunch it in half, not overwork it too much.
Okay.
Hopefully Rob will be zooming in to things that happen. I'll keep my eye on him for you, don't worry. He's busy tweeting. Probably a takeaway. He's probably tweeting Domino's saying, "Do you deliver?"
Not this far north, eh?
You'd be surprised. Okay, so I'm just going to put that. We're only making one, okay? Because we're going to make 4 dishes this hour. I should have put this Italian hour a bit further down the line because it's kind of one of my favourites, and I've peaked too soon.
Well, you've got another 23 hours.
Yeah. So you know,
there is a lot scheduled in.
There
lots
is.
of amazing recipes.
There is.
Amazing chefs and guests.
It's been really, really good actually to kind of pull all this together, hasn't it? It's been really
amazing.
interesting. You know, we have been supported incredibly by lots of artisan producers, and it's our job to bring those producers and those products into this kitchen and cook with them and show you.
And that's sent some phenomenal products.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea really, is, you know, that we try and, you know, I firmly believe that good cooking starts with great shopping. So to be able to buy great products really, really helps, you know, my way of cooking. And I think that the better the product you buy, the less you do to it, really. And this pizza is very much sort of reflective of that, I think.
So do you push that out, or do you get the rolling pin?
Well, I'm kind of...
Spin it around?
No spinning.
Style.
Who? Who?
That famous chef that used to be able to one.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Keith Floyd?
Yeah, that's
Never heard of him, no. You can do it with a rolling pin if you want.
Okay.
I've got one there, but the idea is when you're rolling things like pizza dough out, is if you start with the shape you want to finish with, okay? So we started with a circle, we pressed it down, and I'm just using my hands just to, you know, if you haven't got a rolling pin, a bottle of wine's quite good. And
I
just
tend to use a rolling pin with the kids. Bottle of wine's a bit messy.
and just, but if you know, if you're camping and you want to, I've made pizzas with a frying pan and a blowtorch. They make the best pizzas. Okay. Really, really good. Because you cook the base in the frying pan while you're blowtorching the top, and you get a lovely. Some of the best pizzas I've had is with a frying pan. No, not camping, because my wife won't camp.
Apart from at Carfest.
Carfest next year, yes. Okay, so a little bit of flour just to kind of move it around. Right, so we are going to make the topping in a minute. It's really important to get everything ready.
Yep.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is, if there should be some bowls in these kitchen drawers, maybe that one or the next one.
That one.
These drawers are so full of goodness. Maybe a bit big. That one will do, yeah. Okay, so I want a tin of tomatoes there. I want you to open it and pour it through the sieve. Because what I want to do is take away some of the liquid, okay? Because all I want is tomato, okay?
So we need a spatula, don't we?
No, because I've just...
Well, what about the rest of the...
Oh, yeah. A spoon.
Yep.
We call them spoons in the north.
Do they?
Yeah.
It's only us southerners who call them spatulas. Okay. I remember that.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what I want to do now is we will just take the tomatoes. So I've kind of got rid of this liquid, and I want to use that. Okay, so we'll put that to one side, put that in there, and we'll just put that over there to one side. I'll get another spoon. And then what I want you to do is just kind of use the spoon and break up the tomatoes and make a sauce. Okay? And I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil into the tomatoes.
It's a great job for the kids to get involved in, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think my daughters managed to get it everywhere, but they'd have fun.
So in terms of the food marketing experts, what's the weirdest product you've had to work with, or can you not tell us?
I think I've not necessarily worked with it, but I judged at the Great Taste Awards this year, which was amazing. And we had to try some glutinous rice balls, but normally they're served in a soup, and they were served to us on a plate. And I felt like I was doing a bit of a bush tucker trial. But I think that's the weirdest one I've.
And what did they taste of?
They were full of sesame paste. They weren't my cup of tea, I think is the polite answer. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great. You do get to try some amazing products, judging and obviously hosting events as we do through Grub Club, which is a networking group, Grub Club Cambridge. So you try all sorts of amazing products. And doing this show and putting in products for the show, we've found some amazing ingredients.
Nice. So I've just added in some chopped herbs. We've kind of just chopped some fresh thyme, some rosemary and a little bit of basil, bundle it all together, chop it up.
It smells amazing.
And then just a little bit of salt in, pepper. And what you find, like this, is just a really, really pure, fresh, tomato flavoured sauce. You often find a lot of tomato sauces for pizza are very sort of sweetened and, you know, overdone. For me, it's the tomatoes. That's what it's all about. It's those lovely, beautiful tomatoes.
And do you agree with the theory that you should pay more for your tomatoes? So should you buy the value tin of tomatoes, or should you pay for a stronger brand?
It depends on what you're cooking. If you're cooking a really long, slow cook that's just going to kind of evaporate and intensify, I wouldn't go for the really expensive tomatoes. If I'm going to eat a pizza, I go for better quality tomatoes because I know I'm going to taste those.
Yep.
Whereas if you were doing it like we had a chicken tagine today at lunchtime.
We did. We
added preserved lemon, mint, garlic, olives, you know, loads of onions, all those sort of things. And it was all about the herbs and the cumin and the coriander and the lemon. And so that's kind of, for me, is less important.
So and this is just about the great pizza dough, tomato, and then...
All about each individual ingredient kind of coming together on the plate. Now, mozzarella. Again, something I'm very passionate about. Buying really good mozzarella.
Where's this one come from?
This one, it's from the Campania region. So and that's the authentic region of Italy where you're going to get amazing mozzarella from.
Okay.
And I, you know, when I lived in Tuscany, I kind of ate my own body weight in mozzarella, just to make sure that it was really good.
Just check out the quality.
Yeah. And it is incredible. This is a really, really good one. And you're going to tell me who sent it.
This is sent to us by Paxton Whitfield. So who are coming on to choose out tomorrow.
This is why Vhari's here, because she remembers everything. Have a little taste. It's kind of, I often find mozzarella in this country kind of just tastes of milk.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. We're going to do it, let's do it properly. Alright?
Good olive oil.
Yeah. So we want a tiny little bit of olive oil on here. Okay. There we go. And then a little piece of basil. And then just try it as it is. It's beautiful. You don't want to cook this mozzarella a lot. You just want to kind of melt it. It should have its own real distinctive flavour.
That's like being on holiday.
Yeah,
That's delicious.
It's a good quality mozzarella. Okay, so I need to get this base a little thinner. Okay, so I'm going to use the rolling pin now. I want this pizza to cook quickly. Okay, right. So let's get the stone out. So it's really important.
Do you want me to put the board on?
No, I'm going to show you now.
Okay.
Do it this way around. Heat the stone, okay? Lay the cloth there, okay? And then fold your pizza base in half, and then put it on, then unfold it. Okay. And what you're going to find is it starts to cook straight away.
Right.
Okay? So if I bring this here so you can see that. Can you see that, Rob? Okay. So on with the tomatoes. Can you see it's cooking already?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah? Not too much sauce, don't overdo it. The Italians tell us off all the time for putting too much on a pizza. Okay? If you need more on it, buy two. Make two. Don't put too much on one. Alright, that's it, that's enough. Okay?
See, I would have put more on.
Yeah, I know you would. Okay, and then we've got some lovely...
Kids love pizza. So.
Yeah. Milano salami, there's 3 pieces there. And then I've got a little bit of Parma ham here. Not too much. There we go, that's enough. Okay? And then with your mozzarella, I feel like everyone's starting to get closer and closer now.
I think they're all hungry.
Aren't they? Already?
Is it meal time already?
Yeah. So mozzarella, give it a little squeeze because there is a little bit of extra kind of milk in there. And then just tear it and just kind of just lay it on. And again, not too much.
And do you put any extra basil or anything on your pizza?
At the end.
Okay.
Because basil is a really delicate herb.
Yeah.
And it will just burn.
Okay.
Okay? So all I'm going to do is take a bit of olive oil. Okay, because it's kind of always all about the olive oil in Italy. Okay, but can you see, look,
Yeah.
we're already we're nearly cooked. It's only cooking the top now. So
How
straight
long
in
do you
the oven.
put that in there for?
Well, normally, if you're doing like a really traditional pizza, you would have it at 500 degrees.
Wow.
And it would cook in 90 seconds.
Okay.
But we don't have 500 degree ovens in the house, so this will take probably 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
But you don't want it too crispy. Okay, so that's kind of pizza. Let's have a little clear up of that. I'm sure some people are going to want to try that. Mozzarella. I'm going to hang on to that pizza dough, because you never know when you need it. Okay, right. So, what I am going to do is show you a really, while that's cooking, we're going to have a really lovely, slow cooked pig's cheek dish.
Now that isn't a cut of meat I would go to.
Pig's cheeks, I like all cheeks, and I like cheeks. I'm a cheek kind of guy. John, cheeks?
Definitely cheeks.
Cheeks. Yeah. They are very kind of rich, very fatty. They work all the time because they're, pigs never stop eating. And that's why they need a really, really long, slow cook. So I'm going to put the hob on. This is absolutely perfect for the slow cooker. Don't worry, we've got one we made earlier, even though we've got 24 hours. But I've made this in the slow cooker last night, so it's perfect. And if you're going to make this, either make it in the slow cooker or put it in a casserole dish with a lid on. It's important to put the lid on so that you keep all the hydration in. You don't want it to over-reduce and reduce and reduce. Okay?
Would you do it slightly differently if you're doing it in the slow cooker versus the way we're going to do it now?
This is the slow cook version. So I'm going to show you. So I've got my little slow cooker pot here. I've got my pan on nice and hot. And what we're going to do is get everything ready. So, how's your knife skills?
About to be tested by the sounds of things. I'm waiting to watch the knife skills hour tomorrow.
Knife skills, 6 o'clock in the morning. I've bought 2 boxes of plasters. We should be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, so I've got some fennel, which is very Tuscan in flavours. Tomatoes, fennel, garlic, all those wonderful flavours work really, really well. So we're actually using fennel instead of onion. And we've got our wine man who's just starting to pace a little bit now. He must be getting ready to reveal a really nice wine that is going to go with this pig's cheek. So, first of all, let's get all the vegetables chopped. So, exactly the same as you would with an onion, we're going to slice it, dice it, and get it all nice and fine. Fennel has to be one of my favourite ingredients.
It is delicious. It's versatile.
Yeah, it is really, really good. And we'll probably use it a few times over the next 24 hours. Okay. So there we go. That'll probably do for what we're doing. And then we've got a carrot for a little bit of sweetness. So I think it's really important to kind of chop these really fine, because when these pig's cheeks break down, we want all the meat and all the vegetables to kind of come together like a ragu. So I think it's quite important. What you don't want is great big chunks of carrot.
No.
You want it all nice and fine. And if you can't chop like this, use the food processor and just pulse it, and it'll break down really easily. Okay. Could you peel me a couple of cloves of garlic? So, go on.
Is this the kind of dish you'd pick for your family?
Yeah, definitely. And I always cook more than we need.
So that you can batch cook and freeze.
Yeah. I think whenever you're slow cooking, the more, the bigger in volume that you cook, kind of the better it tastes. It's like a roast.
Yep.
It's a great big joint. It's beautiful. You know, it's a great beef. It's way nicer than like 500 grams.
Yep.
Yeah.
It also gets you ahead, doesn't it, for the week?
Well,
So
yeah,
busy with kids
yeah.
and juggling.
And we use, like at home, we use freezer bags and we use little vac bags here at work all the time. You know, if we've got a couple of ladlefuls of red wine sauce or something like that, we'll just put it into a bag and we'll just freeze it.
So you try and avoid food waste wherever possible. Do you
Yeah.
have pizza doing?
Pizza's fine. Panic. So, celery, carrots and fennel. Okay, that's kind of our base. Alright? There we go. Beautiful. Right, so let's just move all those to one side, okay? Right, let's just drop that down. I think it's the scale that's beeping at me. Okay, so the ox cheek. Sorry, pig's cheek. Keep calling it pig's cheek. Right, so let's have a little look at it. Okay. Alright, so just like little pieces, little cuts of meat. So they're really good portion-wise as well, because you can work out exactly what you need. So my pan is getting really, really hot now. And I put it on maybe 5 minutes ago to get it ready to cook.
Okay.
Okay, really important.
So you can seal the meat before you put it
Yeah,
on,
we're going to
so
get big flavours in it now.
Okay.
Big, big flavours.
when I finally finish peeling it.
Yeah, so a little bit of olive oil on them, not too much. So always oil the meat, not the pan. And then pepper. And then salt.
Okay. And will you further season the dish once it's...
Once it's, yeah, I mean, okay, so what we'll do is straight in. You can see how hot it is, it's kind of smoking, yeah? I mean, if you wanted, you could just chuck this all into the slow cooker and leave it to do its thing. But if you want to get big flavours in, we'll get some caramelisation on there and get it really, really flavoursome. So in with our fennel, carrots and celery into there. Okay. And my garlic, thank you very much.
Okay.
So a quick chop. This is all going to melt down really, really easily. Okay. So you're here for the 24 hours.
I am.
Yeah.
Going to try and stay awake.
Which ones are the ones that you've kind of pricked your interest up most?
Cocktail hour sounds quite good.
Cocktail hour. What time's that one?
That is on at 11 with Tom from Warner Edwards. That's going to be fun.
He's a live wire. I'll tell you that now. And he brings gin.
Yep.
So we generally like him.
And then we've got, I don't think I'm going to want to sleep because we've got so many amazing chefs cooking.
We have.
The lineup is fantastic, and yeah, it's been great fun helping you put it all together.
It's been interesting.
It
Hasn't
has,
it?
yeah. I'm dreading you driving back from Carfest next year. It's been a really exciting week. So we've got a whole host of chefs on the lineup for Carfest.
We have.
Both north and south.
Yeah.
So,
proud to be involved with those guys, aren't we?
Yeah, we
it's
really
a great
are.
cause.
It's a good cause, and it's a great fun weekend for the whole family. So it's going to be fun sorting out chefs for Carfest and all the ingredients they need. And I think we're going to be cooking with a bit more of Jody Sector's product, Carfest South.
Yeah, well,
He gave you a telling off last week, did he not?
He did. He told me off for not using his lamb. So I've just turned over the pig's cheeks there. We'll just get a bit of colour on them. He told me off for bringing my own lamb from Cumbria. So I've done a deal.
You won't make that mistake this time.
Well, I've done a deal with him. If he takes my son in his Ferrari, I'll cook with his lamb. So my son's very excited about all that, so it'll be good. Okay, so all our little veggies.
You just put a stock cube in there.
Yeah, I put a beef stock cube in there just because we've got bags of flavour in there. And then we are just going to sit the pig cheeks straight on top.
Okay.
Okay. And then the tomato that's left from before, actually not quite going to fit. Thank you. So, in with the remaining tomato there. And then we ought to really call our friend with the wine in.
Yeah.
Because I need some wine.
Come on down, Sam.
Sam, where are you?
Yeah.
We need your expertise.
We need alcohol.
Right, let me just move these.
So Sam,
Right.
where have you come from today for the 24-hour bash?
I come from Cambridge.
Oh, another fellow county.
Yeah, where you come
It
from.
is, isn't it? So what have you brought us today?
Lots of wine,
Hooray!
lots of beer.
Oh, nice.
So you're with us on and off over the whole, well, certainly till about 11 o'clock tonight, with
So I
different
believe
drinks
so,
to
yeah.
go with the different foods that our amazing chefs are cooking.
Absolutely. We sell lots of lovely booze in a place called Thirsty. That's what it says on the tin there.
Very interesting name.
So we're bringing a selection of different wines to go and
Okay.
beers to go with the different foods that you're going to be.
Okay. So
noshing
which
up this
one are you
soon.
recommending that Peter puts in with the pig's cheeks today?
Well, actually, it's the one that's over there on the table. So
Quick, dash,
quickly get
run.
that one back. Sorry there. Thank you.
So are you a big fan of red wine, Pete?
If I'm going to drink a wine, it's a red,
Yep,
and it's always with food. I'm
Okay.
not a wine drinker just on its own.
yep.
I enjoy it with food, really, whereas my wife just enjoys it. Full
She's,
stop.
yeah, but Emma's like me, she's a gin fan too, isn't she?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Right, so we're starting off. We've got 2 Italian reds here.
Yep,
I think the first one that I brought out initially is going to go great with the pizza.
okay. Which
Put
we
that
need
over
to
here.
get paranoid now.
It'll be fine. Don't
He's
worry.
been saying it'll be fine all day, and I'm kind of
It'll be fine.
There we
cool.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, a quick clear
So
off.
this wine is it's red, and it's from Italy. One old tip I always got taught about how do you match food and wine was to look to match the cuisine of a certain region or of a certain area with
Yep.
the wines of a certain area, and I think that's always a good place to start when you're thinking what am I gonna have with this grub. This one, it comes from the northeast of Italy. Comes from an area just to the north of Verona, so kind of Romeo and Juliet land.
Right.
It's called Valpolicella Ripasso.
It smells amazing.
See, this is why I couldn't have your job, because I couldn't pronounce all these names.
That's what I did a languages degree for.
Right.
Nothing to do with the literature.
Yeah,
It was
right,
also
yeah.
how to get a decent life in the booze industry. So, some of you guys might have heard of a wine called Amarone.
Yes.
Yeah, quite a big wine, quite
Yep.
famous. They make Amarone by drying the grapes after they harvest them. So they let them dry for a few months
Right.
and turn halfway into a raisin.
Okay, yeah.
And then they press them to make Amarone. Now with the pressings, with the skins, if you like, that are
Yeah.
left over from that Amarone wine, they then take those skins and they drop them in a normal Valpolicella. So they repass the Valpolicella over
They
these
kind of
skins.
season it with another product.
You sort of
Just to build the flavours.
turbocharge it.
Nice.
So
Can
that's
I
what-
just see by preheating the stone? Look, the pizza just slides. Okay. So straight off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this stone. So it's really, really hot.
That's a really lovely red.
It's very smooth, so it's not as heavy
No.
as when you get an Amarone. Amarone's a big butch wine. It's often 14, 15, sometimes more percent wine. They're also expensive. So a really cunning trick is to look for a Valpolicella Ripasso. We sell a very nice one here. You can find them around the place in both specialist wine merchants and larger retailers. It's not too heavy. I mean it's 13.5%, so it's not.
It'll do.
It's giving
Yeah,
you a little
it'll do.
tingle, but it's not going to absolutely box you out
No.
before you're off the starting
Right.
game.
So do you want to try some pizza with it? So I've got some fresh basil on there, and then a little bit of watercress. You could use rocket as well.
Okay.
Italians would use rocket. And then I've got some beautiful parmesan here, the real deal. And we, rather than cook with it, we just finish it.
So the one we've just tried is the one that would go best with the pig's cheek, which we need to put a good glug in before you chuck it on the slow cooker.
Oh right.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
That's the
So
one
that's-
to go with the...
That's going to be the one for the pig's cheek, and the reason why
Right.
is it's a little bit more complex than.
So you fill that right
First
up
one.
to the...
Yep.
Okay.
Just the surface there, and then lid on.
Yeah,
Slow cook 8 hours,
Okay.
6 hours if you want. So what I have got is one I made earlier.
okay.
You'd be
so if I
pleased
put
to
that
hear.
one on the...
Yeah. So if I lift this, let's just pop this pizza to one side. And then let's just lift this out. And I want you to have a little taste, okay? So, have a smell.
Oh, I love it.
It's just rich, and it's just unctuous, and it's just, you know, if you just spooned a little bit of that through pasta, it would just be really, really beautiful. Don't need to do a lot with it, okay? I've got a little bit of Cavallonero here. So we'll just crank the pan up. I'm just going to tear the bottom bit off because it'll cook quicker. So we don't want to overcook it.
So you're a big fan of Cavallonero?
I think it's just when you've got something so kind of rich and full flavoured, I think it's quite nice to have something kind of green and a bit healthier and a bit kind of bit of yin and yang. Try and get the balance there, I think. Okay. And let me just, I mean, if I show you here, and hopefully Rob's editing this, if you look, it just breaks like that, yeah? And it just, all you need to do is...
having the veg that small makes it...
Yeah, if you look, it's all just mixes together, really. Okay, and those cheeks,
Cheeks are just one of those...
You're a cheek man as well, are you?
I'm a cheek man. we have a great little butcher down in Cambridge, Mill Road Butcher.
Yeah.
That one's for you, Gaza. He's always got cheeks, hasn't he? He's got his ox cheeks, he has pink cheeks.
I think they were totally underutilised.
Well, you always get two in every animal, so they might as well be used. Otherwise, they just get minced up.
And they're cheap, although they could be cheaper, Gaza.
So you'd serve that with pasta and the Cavallonero?
I would. Today, I'm just going to serve it with some Cavallonero, but you could serve it with pasta if you wanted to. We do it at home often instead of sort of as our spaghetti bolognese.
Yep.
Okay. So literally, don't overcook the Cavallonero. Okay. Just lift it out, and we're just going to sit it straight on the bottom of the plate. Okay, here, give it a little twist of black pepper, touch of olive oil on there. There we go.
No, it just looks delicious, doesn't it, with the olive oil on the Cavallonero?
And then dig deep, find those pig's cheeks. Sorry, keep calling them ox cheeks. It's because I was cooking ox cheek last week. There we go.
That is looking good.
There we go.
Remember to pace ourselves, Kay. We've got 24 hours.
I know, this is kind of like, so this is kind of like first dish. I mean, it's very rustic, it's very hearty.
Yeah.
It is almost sort of, it's that just comfort food. What it should do is stop you buying 500 grams of minced beef and making a bolognese that way. Make it that way.
Yeah.
You eat less, but it's got bigger flavours. You don't need as much meat because you bought the right cut, and I think that is really, you know, good cooking. It's about choosing the right dishes, choosing the right cuts for the right job.
And do you think there's a sort of a lack of education on, you know, people using these particular cuts of meat and just always reverting to mince?
Well, we were brought up on it, weren't we?
Yeah.
A big dollop of minced beef bolognese sat on top of spaghetti. You know, that's what we ended up with. But have a try. I'll just move this out of the way.
Try not to burn our mouths.
Yeah. I love that they have this sort of cheeks have that like gluten, slightly glutinous, slightly sort of unctuous flavour that.
It's lovely just with the Cavallonero, isn't it? Without any, you know, pasta or anything else.
What's the verdict? You like?
Bloody lovely, that is.
Yeah?
That is delicious.
I think you might as well stop here because nothing's going to be better than that.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
let me cook a little bit of pasta here because we've got another dish. So tell me, what kind of people do you get into the shop then? You must
All
get a
sorts.
real, yeah.
So we have this shop. Well, it's a shop and a bar in Cambridge. Thirsty Cambridge.
Sounds like a good combination.
It is because a lot of people they want to come and they want to take some wine or some lots of nice craft beers, spirits. They want to take it home and have a good a nice good feed and a nice drink at home. But a lot of other people they don't want to do the cooking at home. Maybe they've just been working too hard or whatever. So we have a food truck out the front every night.
A different one.
Different food truck every night. So we've got 7 different restaurants outside the front a week, and then you can come in and sit inside.
And what's some
Come in and
That's a tough one.
Oh dear. I mean, the old.
Is that like asking which is your favourite child?
Well, the whole food scene, street food scene in Heybridge has just kind of hit new heights, hasn't it? And there's new street food vans.
I think in Cambridge and in London and in Leeds and in Bristol and Brighton, there's this, really is a sort of exploding scene. I mean, the old burgers, posh burgers, they always
Steak
do.
and honour are good.
They always hit the mark.
But they're always good when you've had a bit too much booze, I find, personally. They hit the mark
and sober as well.
No, I love them.
And Guerrilla Kitchen, Provenance Kitchen, lots of kitchens.
Yeah, there is.
They've all got really different setups as well. So Provenance is an Airstream, Steak and Honours, an old French kitchen van. So
Try a bit of that with it, because I think why that wine goes really well with it is because the wines of Italy, the red wines of Italy, they always seem to have a little bit of a juiciness to it, a sort of freshness, a bit more acidity than you find perhaps in warm, hot countries like Australia or South Africa. So that kind of juicy freshness with the acidity cuts through that, the
really
fibrous, the slightly glutinous juiciness that's in the cheeks, but without being too heavy. So I think
definitely
gets
converted. No more mince.
I might just double
good.
check it.
So while you're double checking, so the pizza, all we've done is we've put in a little bit of watercress and some fresh basil, and then just I think a little bit of parmesan on the end. Don't cook with it, just finish with it, almost like a seasoning really, for the pizza. And then let's have a little taste. So
this is the one to go with the pizza.
So this wine that we're going to have with the pizza is also from Italy. It's a Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. So Abruzzo is the region, it's about halfway down on the right hand side. Montepulciano is the name of the grape. You don't tend to get great wines with that grape. It's a grape that makes wines that are just made for drinking, and drinking to excess. Of course, that we encourage that at all. But it's just, look at the colour of it. I don't know how easy it's going to be to see.
Yeah.
But what do you say about the colour of it?
It's more cherry coloured than the previous wine.
Exactly, it's pinker and sort of purple pink, rather than the other one, which had a slightly more amber colour to it. And that, here we go.
is that one for me?
Get your knackers around that one. Gnashers, not knackers.
I was going to say.
It's sort of juicy, and it's 12.5%. It should have, you can just
Try the pizza.
get stuck into this sort of stuff. So again, with pizza, you sort of, it's not like the meal that you have as your wedding meal. It's kind of, it's about relaxed, informal eating, and that's exactly the same with this wine. It's a relaxed, informal,
Casual
not
dining,
taking
isn't it?
itself too serious.
That's delicious pizza too. And it's perfect without too much sauce on it, whereas I know that I previously put probably too much sauce on big family.
And you'll end up with a soggy bottom. Nobody wants a soggy bottom.
No. That's delicious. And it's really nice with the watercress on top and not having too much. Perfect with the wine too. Good choice.
We tend to put
pizza van outside.
yeah, have you not got one of those yet?
There is one fired up. Very nice too. But they don't have a van. They actually got sucking great big pizza up with a chimney.
Nice.
It's great with the watercress.
It's just that we actually put a full salad on top of our pizzas at home. We tend to have watercress, rocket leaf, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, olive oil, kind of mix it all together, then sit it on top. So you feel like you're having a nice big fresh salad, but it's got a cheeky pizza underneath. Nice. Like that.
It's really bright, this wine, isn't it? It's sort of just youthful. Just like
youthful
ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Before we start the 24 hours.
In our dreams.
Beautiful. Right. Okay. So, what I'm doing is I'm just cooking off a little bit of pasta here, and I'm going to. Do you like pesto?
Do you like pesto?
Like a pesto. Okay.
My children probably, if you kind of cut their arm in half, not that they do have that, you probably find green blood running through there.
Okay, a lot of kids like pesto, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a different kind of pesto. So, obviously, the Italians, if they haven't got basil growing, they won't
Yeah.
make pesto. And if they haven't got any left, so what they tend to use is whatever else they can find. So, you know, you would get mushroom pesto, you would get sun-dried tomato pesto, all kinds of different flavours. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make a walnut pesto.
Oh, yum.
So walnut's very good for you, and this makes a really lovely kind of rich, again, quite a wintry kind of pesto. So first things first, for me walnuts are quite, out of a packet, are quite dull, quite waxy, quite bitter. So we need to really bring them up, and what we'll do is we'll just put a few in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to taste a roasted one against one out of the packet, and you'll see what I mean and why we do it.
Hamster's brains.
So, no, I've not heard that one before.
That's what they look like.
I've never seen a hamster's brain. Right, so pan on, walnuts in, a little bit of oil just to get the whole thing going, okay? So we're going to get some good olive oil in here.
Do you need a board?
Copper board, please, yes.
What's that oil that you just used there then?
That was a little bit of rapeseed oil, so mellow yellow, and it kind of gives a very buttery taste. It's really good for you. Good high sort of heat cooking content, so the burn rate is nice and high. It's great for cooking with, and it's full of omega oils. It's pretty good for you, and it's British made. So as a cooking oil, I think it's really, really good. Yeah, if I went to something like a Tuscan Filippo Berro olive oil, it's just, you don't want to cook with this. You just want to taste it. You want to taste that lovely viney richness. So we'll get rid of that slow cooker as well. So pasta, big pan, lots and lots of salted boiling water. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a little bit of rosemary and a little bit of thyme and just drop it in whole. Not going to chop it, because all I want to do is get a bit of flavour into it. I don't want bits of herbs through it. Okay, so pestle and mortar. Now, I have a real bugbear about small pestle and mortars. They are useless. Alright? If you can lift it with one hand, it's too small. Okay? It needs to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Is there a Freudian interpretation of this?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I just have a real thing about these stupid little blooming pestle and mortars. So I'm warning you, whoever's cooking with me over the next 24 hours, if you bring out a little girly pestle and mortar, I'm going to send you back up the mountains. They're ridiculous. Okay? Right.
I think it's definitely a Freudian thing.
So all we're going to do is just toss them around a bit. We're just toasting them. We're trying to get these nuts nutty.
Yeah.
Alright? Because they're not on their own. Okay. So, garlic. 1 clove of garlic.
Do you need a knife or do you?
No.
I like the way you just did that. You
It's chefy, isn't
just squished it.
Well, if you just crack the garlic, it will unwrap really easily. Okay? And then we want some sea salt. And that's going to work as our abrasive. Okay? There you go. Do some manly pounding.
Do I give it
Alright.
a wallop or do
Yeah,
I
just give it a wallop.
Okay. How's that?
Good. So break it down. Wow, you're quick. Okay.
Also.
Right. So,
Is that done? I think that's right now.
check the pasta. Yeah. Okay, pasta's cooked. So, excuse me. Right. I am just going to drain this off and then I'll be straight back.
Oh, sorry.
Those walnuts smell amazing, the rosemary and the thyme.
Right, pasta, just sit it there, drained. And then what we're going to do is when pasta is cooked, it's quite porous, okay? So, an absorbent. So we'll just a little bit of olive oil on there. Touch of black pepper. And maybe a twist of salt, okay, and that's it. And then just give that a quick mix. Not only will the pasta not stick together, but it'll actually, if you taste that as it is, it'll actually taste quite of something. Taste of olive oil. So it's quite absorbent, yeah, and seasoning. Right, so these nuts are cooked. I'm going to give them a good season. So what we tend to do is roast them and then leave them to cool down
Okay.
completely, and then we put them back in a jar and put them in the cupboard. And that's so that we're always really nice and crunchy. So if they're going in a coffee and walnut cake, they're really nice and crunchy when they need to be.
And you'd use the same recipe for a coffee and walnut cake?
Yeah. All I've done is just, I mean, if you, so these are walnuts straight out of the bag. Okay, have a try of them. Okay. Bit waxy, bitter. Yeah. Not really kind of like lighting your fire. Okay. Have a taste of one of these.
Well, totally different.
Okay. So they should be nutty, they should be crunchy, they should be salty and vibrant.
And with
Okay.
that smoky, that smoky, roasty.
So straight in with the walnuts.
Shall I give it some money?
Yeah. Wait, mate. You're into it now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Yeah. Okay. So pound those, and then we're just going to start to add some olive oil into there, and just work them all together. Okay. We'll add a touch more oil in a minute.
Well, that smells nice. See, I reckon if you're going to make a career in the booze industry, you've got to know your way around a bit of food.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, definitely. I think in this day and age, we're kind of expected to know what wines work with what foods, and it's a very, very extensive world, wine, I would say, and it takes a lot. There are a lot of wines out
You've just
there.
got to try them all, haven't you?
Yeah.
So where's your favourite wine from?
Oh, an impossible question, because it depends on moment,
Food,
place,
yeah.
food, person,
Okay, what's
etc.
one of the nicest wines you've ever tried?
I love Germany. I think Germany as a country for producing wine has fallen out of fashion. Everyone's kind of got idea of those horrid, yucky, confected Liefrau milches in their mind.
Bit of Blue Nun.
Bit of blue nun, bit of black tower. Now, if you
Yeah.
like that stuff, that's not to say that you're wrong. You should never be bullied into saying this is a good wine and that's a bad wine. A good wine is a wine you like. But I think poor old Germany has handicapped itself a little bit by going so far down that route. Great thing is nowadays, the last 10 years, the younger generation of producers in Germany are just absolutely nailing it.
Yeah.
Both with white wines, with Riesling and other great varieties, but also with red wines like Pinot Noir, which they have a lot planted in Germany. So I'm really going through a big kind of German phase, and we've just started importing quite a few young producers from Germany at Thirsty, which you can get on our website. We are thirsty.co.uk. So yeah, that would be one of mine.
Right.
What are your choices?
Okay. So
How's that?
it's at this point we have a little taste,
Okay.
and we make the adjustments. Okay. So for me, it's a little bit too salty. Okay, so it needs a little bit more olive oil, and then we're going to add a splash of lemon juice to kind of counterbalance the richness.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just waiting on a little bit of olive oil in there, a little bit of lemon, and then that will be ready to go. I've hung on to a few walnuts because what it means when you taste it, you kind of get a really nice contrast and textures. I also always find a lot of people kind of really like pasta dishes, but they find they're quite one-dimensional. So it's like the same flavour, the same taste, fork after fork after fork, and it's quite nice to get different flavours and textures in there. So I'm just going to add a tiny little
Do you always
bit.
make your pesto in pesto and water? Or
I do if. Oh, thank you, John.
you need a knife now?
I do need a knife. I do because I tend to make it to order, but as and when we need it. And if I haven't got basil, we make walnut pesto. And mushroom pesto is a really nice one. You roast the mushrooms in the pan and get rid of all the water, and then you replace the walnuts with the mushrooms, and you get this lovely earthy, garlicky, cheesy flavour. It's really good. So squeeze of lemon juice, not too much because you don't want it to be lemony. What you're trying to do is just get a nice balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should try both of the red wines side by side to decide which one you guys think goes better.
Okay. So pasta in.
They're lined up.
Scripted.
Okay. Take a spoon and then just add.
So you add your sauce to the pasta, not the pasta to the sauce?
Yeah, always. Yeah. So add a little bit there, and then a little bit of the cooking water that drained off the pasta. in there.
And what's the thinking behind it?
It's got starch in it, and it kind of helps it go creamy and bring it all together.
Okay.
Okay. So, if I put that on there, Rob should be able to just crop in nicely. And what you'll find, that water it'll kind of almost taste creamy, but it's not got any cream on it. Okay, so take some of the walnuts. Okay, and then we'll just sprinkle those on there.
That is delicious. So simple as well.
And then like this is more kind of that nice silky texture.
Yeah.
So you put a little olive oil on at the end. Okay, and then one twist. That's it. Okay, so that's our walnut pesto. Have a little taste of that. See what you guys think.
That is delicious.
I better just double check it.
Yeah, no, you should. Make sure each footful actually is nice.
So which wine would you recommend best to go for walnut pasta?
I'm going to let you tell me what you prefer.
Okay.
Go on then.
I think the one that the one that you chose for the pig's cheek is probably better. Okay, because I think this is quite rich, and I think it's quite a bold flavour, even though it's quite light, but the flavours are intense. I think, and
Yeah.
it's.
I think I would go for that as well. In as far as nuts, it's got that sort of earthier flavour, and then
I'm just going to double check.
I think it would be quite unprofessional not to. And
Yeah.
this has that wine, the Valpolicella Ripasso. It's just got a bit more depth to it. It's a bit richer. It is a bit a little bit smokier.
Yeah.
I better
That
just
is-
check as well.
Yeah, just go for it. That is really, really delicious.
And quick.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it in pestle and mortar, you could just really easily do it you could do it straight into a little blender, a little hand blender. You could do it in a mixing jug, whatever you like, really.
Yep.
Okay.
Really nice with the nuts at the end as well.
Yeah.
Just so you do get
Bit of texture.
textural difference.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've got maybe 5 minutes, something like that. So this pizza dough that we started with, okay. If you put a little bit of oil on your hands, and if you want to try this yourself as well, okay.
Yeah.
And then take the dough, take a little piece of dough in your hands.
Oh.
Easy.
It's like gone down my front.
See, Vhari said she wanted a massage. And then take a little piece of dough.
Running. Go back to Cambridgeshire.
And then just what you find is now the bread just doesn't stick. Okay? And it just tastes beautifully of olive oil, okay? So just work it through your fingers, stretch it, just keep stretching it, okay? So it's good camping food, this. Straight into the pan. Stretch it out a little bit. Okay?
Come on, sir.
Yeah, in the pan.
Pack it in. No sugar.
We're judging on presentation later.
Yeah.
Do you like a teeth out?
MasterChef for professionals, this, isn't it?
For winos.
Okay. So I'm just going
Do
to
you want
tear.
the tomato sauce back?
No, you can take that if you're being helpful.
Thanks.
So we're just going to pop some Parma ham, and really, you could pop Parma ham on here. We could take a piece of salami. This is really good leftovers, kind of using up bits and bobs. I find it the best way to cook. I love it when we've got nothing scheduled to eat, and we're just going to eat leftovers. So I'm just going to flip them over, and now they're cooking in the ham. Yeah, keep your hands nice and soft. Let's just move these bottles over there out of the way, because these are going to come out really soon. So, who have we got next, Vhari? In a few minutes?
We have Harry on next.
Brilliant. What are we cooking? Do you know?
We are cooking.
I'm just testing it here.
It's takeaway hour, so we have Harry cooking a whole range of delicious takeaway treats for us on this Friday night.
Marvellous. Okay, and poor Harry's got to drive back down to that there London afterwards. So, I don't think she'll run over. I think she'll be bang on time and out the door. But no, I'm looking forward to it actually. I've never met Harry before. I've certainly not cooked with her before, so it's a great opportunity for me. But look, these are cooking really easily. Let's move all these over. And what's happening now is they're now on the ham side and the salami side, so they're getting all nice and crisp. It's just a really good little nibbly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just something good to nibble.
Imagine you came in from the pub and you just took one of those up. That'd be
Yes,
sweet,
or from your lovely shop and bar.
from Thirsty Cambridge.
Thirsty Cambridge, yes, well remembered.
What's
little-
your favourite wine and tasting?
Well, I would probably have to say a Chianti because I spent so much time in Tuscany. I've just
Okay.
booked to go again next year. And actually, probably the best wines I've had are from Tuscan families and they've made their wines. But then when we brought them home, they're never the same. They're never the same. I don't know what it is.
We tried some amazing ones. We recently,
We went to Ancona, didn't we?
we went out to the market.
Yeah.
We went to visit a couple of wine producers there, the Gruyere family, who are an amazing farm. They grow their own, approximately their own pasta, they have their own olive oil, and they have their own vineyards, and it was just, really, really inspiring. Own had honey as well, so we had a really good foodie adventure. We went truffle hunting.
Yeah, we did 48 hours, didn't we?
In the market.
That's what you'll be doing here next year, won't you?
What, 48 hours?
No.
Somebody is. It's not me.
Not me.
No.
So we just go, right, we need to move on so
All right.
that Harry can take on the
So,
stage.
really simple. Look at those. Just perfect for leftovers. Perfect for nibbles for you two to take with you. I'm going to try and make sure whoever's been on takes a little nibble with them. Thank you very much. It's been great to chat to you. And we'll see more of you with some more wines later, won't we? I'm sure.
And some beers.
And some beers.